Got a couple more videos that I'm working on. One's going to be about the all-wheel drive system. I'm just waiting for something to show up, gather some more data on some stuff, and then I'll do a comparison kind of like what I did with my Mazda all-wheel drive videos. And then I've got another one that talks about the 8-speed automatic in this, kind of what Toyota did to change it versus the regular 8-speed that's in a lot of their other cars. One thing I have done though is I went ahead and pulled the trigger on the K&N intake. It was decent price, so I've been experimenting with that, playing around with that. I'm going to show some data a little bit later in the video, kind of like graphing versus the intake on the stock car and then this. Cool thing about this car is it has a sensor in the inlet track that monitors the restriction before everything before the turbo. And so you can actually measure, what your restriction is versus in the past you've had to hook a vacuum gauge up or whatever, so you can see what your restriction is. What I can say is the K&N definitely does flow more, and there is a lot less restriction. So the other thing I did was I pulled the trigger on a tune from Stratified Tuning out of Canada. I really like their vibe. I like the content they've put out, so I decided to go with them. They tune using Ecutek. So I got my base map last night, flashed that. I've been driving around with that, sent them the first logs they wanted. Immediately the car feels smoother. The boost control, especially on the low end, is a lot cleaner. What I did notice when I put the K&N on with this is how much the bypass valve is actually recirculating at low throttle to maintain that factory boost control there. And it was pretty annoying because you could hear it, like you start to get a little gas, you'd hear it, you let off, you hit, it's just really, really annoying. First thing I noticed with this is that's gone. It's just nice, clean boost control from the bottom, so I don't have any of that when I'm just trying to maintain speed going down the road. Throttle response is cleaner, boost is higher. I'm not going to go too crazy into like what the tune, does or whatever right now. I will be doing some draggies, stuff like that, since I do have stock times for the car on a draggy when we're done with the tune. I'm not going to go anything crazy with this car. Maybe in the future I might. Probably not though. Everybody says they're going to do crazy nuts stuff with it. It's just a fun daily driver, and that's what I was looking for in it. But one of the reasons I do enjoy engine tuning is because I do transmission tuning, and just changing some things in how the transmission calibration factory is from a lot of vehicles really cleans up how they drive, where the OEMs are kind of stuck with having, emissions targets, whatever targets they have to hit all across the country. They have to make everybody happy. There are some pretty sloppy transmission tunes out there that you can clean up immediately. So that's one of the things I was looking for with this on the engine side, is drivability improvements, and I got that immediately. So now what I want to do, let's look at some of the data on the K&N. So on the factory car, in the lower box, there's a flap that opens around 4 to 4,500 RPM, what I've seen in my own car, and that, increases your flow into the filter quite a bit. What that does, though, is it's kind of a restriction under that amount. So what this chart's showing is the intake restriction in inches. So you can see the restriction is in the red right as it opens up. So you can see right before it opens up, the restriction is the highest. It opens up, restriction drops down, you go through your shifts. This is like a 1-2 and then a little bit of a third pull. And you can watch the restriction move as the intake flow increases. This is comparing the restriction before and after. So the blue lines and the blue tracers are all with the K&N, and the red is the old intake when the flap is open. The gray is the old intake with the flap closed, and it's scaled against your restriction versus mass airflow in grams a second. So you can see throughout the entire trend as the mass airflow rate increases. On the factory intake, it's relatively, it's not terrible, because there's a lot worse factory intakes out there that have a lot higher restrictions, so it's not terrible. But you can see that with the flap closed, the restriction is the highest. Flap opens up, restriction goes down quite a bit. But on the K&N, you see it's lower all the way through the pull. This is also taking a whole bunch of drives, and I've just kind of normalized the data between all the three of them so you can kind of see trends. The last graph here is showing the mass airflow on wide open throttle pulls. This is on a 1, 2, 3 pull, and I've just kind of normalized the flow rates between the gears because they do change a little bit, but again, to show trends of what we're seeing. So the blue is the factory intake mass airflow, and then the red being the K&N. So it's about 2,800 RPM, the factory intake. I do consistently get more flow, but over that, the K&N is consistently higher. The highest flow, like at wide open, I've seen on the factory intake is about 210 grams a second. The highest I've seen on the K&N is about 224. So that's a pretty healthy increase. Intake temps as well have been actually really close to what the factory box was. I don't have hardly any heat soak, even with it being open on top. The way that it scoops from the front grille, it does cool down pretty good. And again, having the vented hood that my car does, I don't have very high underhood temps, so it doesn't heat soak very much. Then it does have a lot higher flow. So I might go for something like the Aventuri or something like that in the future. That's a chunk of change, but it looks nice, sounds nice, and I'm sure it probably performs a little better than this. But for now, for the price I scored this for, it's not bad.